Making the Invisible Visible, Black Women 365 Days of the Year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
Well, who is Joan Myers? Well, people know me by different titles: Dr. Joan Myers, OBE, Pastor Joan, Joan. I believe that I'm here to influence, empower, encourage, and enable people to progress and develop and to be the best person they could possibly be, whether in their everyday life or in their work scenario. I believe we all got one opportunity to live on earth, so we should be as happy as possible. So I like making people happy. So I like telling jokes, and I just like being happy and having people happy around me. Yeah. Well, originally I was a nurse. I suppose once a nurse, always a nurse. So pediatric nurse, children's trained nurse, went up the ladder, set up community children's nursing services. So like district nursing, but specifically for children, because I believe that children shouldn't be looked after in hospital if they can be safely managed at home. So I set up teams in South London and I became the first and only nurse consultant for community children's nursing in the whole of the UK in 2003. And that was a biggie for me. But then one of my career defining moments was when I worked in the Department of Health, advising the Chief Nursing Officer for England on everything to do with EDI, equality, diversity and inclusion. So I was the ambassador for the Mary Seacole Statue Appeal. This Mary Seacole was voted the best Black Briton in 2004, and that was the first time I ever heard of her. And she was a nurse that was around, or doctoress that was around at the same time as Florence Nightingale. When I found out about her in 2004, I said, if she could be excavated from obscurity and put in a place of prominence, then there's hope for Black and brown nurses to progress up the ladder in the NHS and in healthcare. And something that somebody doesn't know about me is that I'm also a pastor. So I've got a passion for God and doing the things that God wants me to do. Because I think we only got one life and might as well live it good and live it well, live it the way that God created us to live it. I think the life-changing moment happened when I went to Kenya for the first time in 2002. I went as an evangelist from my church and I was asked to speak to the community. I was teaching and preaching about God and Jesus, the Bible. And then I just felt that God was saying, everybody knows that already. I want you to demonstrate my love in action. And he pointed out one little girl in the market square and he said, by blessing her, all the children in the village would be blessed. And I didn't really know what it meant, but when I actually met up with her and her family, I just said that I'll pay for her education in her school uniform for the next 10 years. And while I'm saying it, I'm thinking, really, how are you going to do that, Joe? You haven't got any money. But over the years, I've supported this little girl, over 25 families, not just children, families altogether for school education. I had got my friends to all support them. Then I bought land and I felt like God was telling me to build a children's home. It was originally a children's home, but changed to a nursery school, a health centre and a church. But that was really, really life-changing for me and really set me up in a different direction. And it's just a blessing to see how many young people have been blessed and supported and helped and given the opportunity to progress. They live in a slum area, they would not have been able to go to school or go to college or university, and many of them have progressed and done really, really well. So I'm really, really pleased with that. And I know I couldn't do it on my own without God's help and without the help of all my friends along the way that I've sort of dragged in to help me and support me. So I'm really, really proud of that. And I want to see the fullness of that come to pass. Yeah. I think I'm an open book and most people know about me, but some people do get surprised because I'm known as a pastor, which most people think is a very serious kind of thing. But I also like telling jokes. So I do tell lots of jokes, and people tell me that I'm quite funny. And I do actually up over the last year or so, people have been asked me to come along to different events just to share the jokes or just to be the MC on their program so that I could share the jokes. And then they're absolutely surprised that I could tell jokes and that people find them funny. Yeah. Well, that's a really good question. I think everybody needs to be able to deal with that one. I think self-care is not selfish. It's actually survival. And many times we're just running on empty and trying to help and support people all over the place when we need to sometimes stop and just take stock of our lives and look after ourselves as well. So for me, I like to just chillax and relax. I've got a beautiful garden. It was done by Alan Titchmarsh years and years and years ago. It's absolutely still beautiful. And I just love to sit in the garden and just chillax in the garden or just chill out with some friends and eat good food. I do like to eat good food, but then at the same time, I need to manage my weight. So I've got a personal trainer that I've had for the last 6 years. I meet him 3 times a week without fail unless I'm on holiday. And he's the one that keeps me in line for my health and well-being. I love meeting him in the park and doing exercises in the park and stuff like that and being fit and healthy. As we get older, our health is our wealth more than anything else. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.